Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the 19th hole. We are live on In Between Media. We are sports, we are lifestyle, and everything in between. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the whole channel, and jingle that bell for notifications. We just finished the last major of the year, and oh, what a surprise. Mr. Scott Scheffler Esquire ended up running away with it behind the hottest putting we've ever seen from him on Links Golf. We're moving on back to the United States. We got a couple weeks left in the regular season. We got the 3M Open in the Twin Cities coming right now. We're back. Oh, I gotta hit the right banner, don't I? Man, this is a tough job, I swear. Man, see there. Oh, see, I messed it up again. Well, it looks
off and running.
It looks great, guys. I know there's a way to put the back on there, but I can't find it here.
I probably didn't need to tell anybody watching, but we are producer-less tonight, so
I'm the producer, and I'm not good at it. It says it's supposed to be on there. Background.
I kind of like the all-black background. I mean, if we're gonna screw it up,
I figured it. I got it. See, this is a live show, so all of this is happening in real time. Layouts.
Good evening.
Back on. Hey, look at me go.
Now we are live.
We're so live.
We are live. I gotta readjust. I knew something was up when you had the layout wrong.
It was so wrong. Anyway, how are we doing, Conor?
Better than you.
Open Championship, we had a Hao Tong Lee sighting.
Oh, how close to awesome was I? How close to awesome.
That would have been a nice coffee payday.
Oh, man. And I'll tell you,
Steakhouse. Ooh, watching the show in the jacuzzi with some beer. That is exactly how this show should be consumed by everyone. If you don't have a jacuzzi, go and find a friend with a jacuzzi. Grab yourself a cold, crispy boy and get in that jacuzzi and watch the show. And thank you, Dee Dee. You got the
thank you, Dee Dee.
Super sticker. Super sticker. It's not just a sticker, it's super.
I know you can't tell from that angle, but I also am sitting in a jacuzzi.
I think it's just called swamp. It's my swamp butt.
I don't know if we can say that.
I can't say swamp, the other word, but I can say swamp butt. Shout out West Tennessee, listening on the radio. This is going to be a great time. 3M Open. We're going to cover the Open Championship where Scottie Scheffler won again. We're going to, what else are we going to do? We're going to talk about the Barracuda, which I went to on Saturday, and I got to say hi to some of my favorite NorCal golfers.
I don't normally want to sit and listen to you talk for 20 minutes, but I am anxious to hear about your experience at the Barracuda.
It was fun. Well, we're cover that. We'll cover that. I promise. What are you drinking? You got a silver bullet there. Nice. Are the mountains blue?
They're always blue.
Oh, he's double fisting. That's called good hydration, boys and girls.
I'm telling you what, man, nothing like a cure for a rough day. Just double it up.
Yeah. Perfect. What do you say we get into the news? Lots of news in the world of golf. Are we ready for that? I know my banners are ready at this point.
I was going to say we probably better get at it because I know we got the buckshot approach going on the bets tonight, so we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah. Well. Scottie Scheffler Port crushed it. Ironically, I thought he probably was going to win by more than 4 shots because the guy that was 118th in strokes gained putting last week at the Scottish was numero uno putting at the Open Championship. And combined with his approach game, which was as stellar as always, his off the tee game wasn't even good, and he still won by 4 shots in the number 1 tournament in the world of golf, champion golf for the year for the first time. Scottie Scheffler, your reaction, Conor?
Yeah, it's fun watching Scottie win again.
He's so good at this game. It's unreal how just consistent he is. That's the one thing is just he's not boring. He's just so much better than everybody else because he doesn't beat himself. Everybody else in that field would beat themselves under pressure. Scottie was just like, meh.
Do we think he is kind of a little boring? I mean, I think he's kind of a little boring
at all. I like watching greatness myself, and just the consistency that he plays with those irons, and to watch him get hot with the putter. I was pretty much by Thursday afternoon going, Scottie's gonna be really hard to beat if he's making those 10 footers. He missed 4 out of 53 putts inside of 10 feet for the week.
Yeah, dude, you can't take anything away from him. He really did have the putter rolling, and not only did he have the putter rolling, but I mean he was center cup and everything. If
dead center.
If there was something exciting to watch with Scottie this week, it truly I think was his putter. I don't think I've been impressed by him putting maybe ever, and I thought he was rolling it so well this week.
He was something clicked with his bad performance last week where, he's still top 10 at the Scottish and at the Open. He just something clicked. So the greens at Royal Portrush, not as bumpy and irregular as at Renaissance Club. But whatever it was, Scottie was in fuego, ran away with it, 4-shot win over Harris English of all people. And then in third place by himself, rising star Conor Coughlin shouted him out last 2 weeks, Haotong Li, which is fun because Haotong Li did not do well at the Scottish, but we said, hey, he's still good, guys, we promise. And he was in the final pairing with Scottie on Sunday and had himself a great time. They made friends, and it's Haotong Li, that's who. Man,
and in contrast to Scottie, I mean, Haotong's laughing and joking the whole time. And we talked a little about this before. I don't know that Scottie did himself any favors this week with the media. We can get back to that in a second. At least I know that a lot of people read it the way I did. But I thought Haotong was just kind of not as good as like a Siwoo Kim with the media, but like some of the retorts and stuff. I mean, entertaining. It was entertaining.
Yeah. It was a good storyline. Added some levity to the Open Championship that we don't usually get. It's usually a pretty stuffy tournament. The birthplace of golf, blah blah blah. The royal and ancient, blah blah blah. Yeah, now we got Haotong Li, who's on a DP World Tour, killing it this year, and he'll be on the PGA Tour next year. And Scottie's already committed to practicing with him, which is awesome. Haotong Li is the future of golf. He's part of it, and he is the future and the present for Chinese golf, because we haven't had a Chinese national compete on the PGA Tour ever. There's been a few come and go, won a couple tournaments, but Haotong Li is the class of that country's representation in professional golf, and we're going to hear a lot about him in the next coming years.
Yeah, and he's popped up in years past too. I mean, he's kind of, it's just you hear his name every once in a while, and you're all, who the heck is Haotong Li? And then you kind of come flashing back. It's like, oh yeah, Haotong Li, really good on approach, short game, can get pretty nails. Like the guy can catch fire. And that's what we were hoping he would do it. The Genesis Open, and then didn't really happen. And we talked about how he set up pretty equally well for Portrush, and he lo and behold, he sure did. So yeah.
Rory finished tied for 7th with Xander Schauffele in his home Open. He missed the cut in 2019, which was great. So him getting to see the weekend and making that walk up the 72nd fairway towards the green, that was goosebumps, man. It was like that was all that I wanted to see, was Rory walking up 18 on Sunday to that crowd, and it lived up to the expectations.
No, that was awesome. You know, I'm a sucker for anything Rory. So, yeah,
anything Irish, anything Rory, and yeah, I mean,
I'm a cool moment.
I'm very much the same in that regard. So it was awesome. Let's do it again.
Speaking of the Irish, the 2-shot penalty on Shane Lowry for the ball moving. I know I love Shane Lowry. I don't think he was lying, but you know, he
definitely a penalty. It's definitely,
and that ball definitely moved, and
he definitely noticed it. But I don't get why he would address the ball for his practice swing. That's part of his routine, obviously, which doesn't really matter if you're in light rough or the fairway. But that rough was laid down, and so addressing the ball and grounding the club just for a practice swing where you swipe away from it, it's fine most of the time, but it's very, very easy to make the ball move in that situation. So he's got to do some kind of adjustment for courses that have longer rough. Maybe don't ground the club behind the ball when you're just taking a practice swing. It was an easy penalty to call. He should have called it on himself, but everybody on TV saw it, and it was, and apparently they had to review it with Scottie, who was playing with him, and the other guy playing with him for 20 minutes after the round to assess it, because they had to sign the card the right way. Otherwise, he would have been DQ'd. So I don't think it was very much controversy, because it's a very clear 2-shot penalty for moving the ball, for causing the ball to move on address or in a practice. It doesn't matter. Once you address the ball, it's whether it's a practice swing or a real swing. If you make the ball move before you intend to hit it, that's a penalty every single time.
Yeah, turns out you can't do that.
It's not allowed. It's frowned upon.
And like I said with Scottie, I mean, I understand, I think, what he was trying to convey in the media this week with his kind of ho-hum approach. Winning doesn't matter. Family. That
was taken pretty far out of context, though.
But I don't know that it was either, though. I mean, I think the key takeaways in my mind were it's really easy to stand on that podium and even allude to how it was taken when you're making tons and tons and tons and tons of money and you're not struggling to compete. Like, it's easy to go, it's not everything. It's like, well,
yeah, you listen to the whole 5-minute question and answer, though. He was asked to put it in perspective of his success on tour this year and in recent years, and how it melds, how it combines with his home life. And basically he just laid out his priority system. And yeah, he made it sound like his wins weren't that great. Like, he didn't really enjoy winning more than a couple minutes after, but it's more like, okay, I won. It's awesome. But really, I don't mind being a winner. It's great. The bank account is full, but I got a wife and a kid at home that deserve more of my attention. So if I celebrate too long, then I'm taking away from them. That's what I got from him just laying out his priorities were squarely on family. It's also very easy to say that when you're winning every stinking tournament you enter and you're worth $90 million more than you were in 2023. Yeah, they wouldn't have even asked him that question if he wasn't winning all the tournaments. So I will take that with a grain of salt. I don't think he doesn't enjoy winning. He obviously does, because he keeps going out there, and he was fired up making some of those 8-footers for par on Sunday. That was like, the fire is undeniable. He wants to win. I just don't think he gets as much of that spillover celebratory effect as some other golfers who might not have a young wife and a basically a toddler at home. That's where I took it.
Yeah, I mean, I think you and I have different stances on Scottie in general. But I mean, don't get me wrong. I recognize the greatness. You can't take it away from him.
How good was his distance control on approach? Like, God, it was automatic.
The guy was incredible, and
it's so easy looking.
And like I said, just for me, I never find him to be incredibly like inspiring to watch, and so like,
because he's so consistent, though.
I want more. Like, I don't know.
You want more drama.
I want more entertainment.
You want more soap opera drama. You want some double bogeys and bounce backs, like Rory Sunday through a tizzy. You're not gonna get that from Scottie, because Scottie's not gonna make those mistakes.
Because he's the Mr. Rogers of golf. Like, I've been waiting for him to put on his cardigan and toddle off of the media post. So I mean,
should be my neighbor.
I mean, I don't know. I know it's a hot take. I get it.
I get it. I don't agree, but I get it. What we both get is the Barracuda Championship in Northern California was held in the same weekend. I was boots on the ground on Saturday for the third round. I got there early, around 9 a.m., because the tee-off time for the Max Homa Kurt Kitayama pair was at 10:05, so I got to watch them warm up. I got to chat it up with Kurt Kitayama before the round. I waved at Max and told him good luck today, make big moves. He made a pretty good move on Saturday's round. I followed them for the whole front nine. And then as soon as I stopped and sat down by the 18th green in the shade on the grass, I looked at my app for the scoring update, and Kurt Kitayama had double bogeyed the 10th hole. I was like, I should have stayed with him. But
right though.
But I also got a chance when I went back to that practice area and was sitting at kind of the clubhouse area. I was able to chat up Isaiah Salinda, who's from San Francisco. I told him about how we had bet on him and Kevin Velo for the Zurich Classic, and he was like, "Wow, you guys are nuts." And I said, "You guys want us a good amount of money, first round leader and like low score." I was like, "I thought you guys were going to shoot 56 that day," and he goes, "Yeah, I thought we would too, but we kind of ran out of gas on the back nine." He was really fun to talk with. His caddy was really cool. So his caddy shows up to the green, full bag. He lays out all of Isaiah's clubs, which I've never seen before. Lays out all the clubs in like a circle around his bag, and then he's got a level in his pocket. Like he's got a tool belt on. He's got a level, and he's wearing a compass on a necklace to gauge the wind direction, and because on that golf course everything kind of breaks towards Lake Tahoe because they were at 6,000 feet. So distance control is everything, and then you can't read the greens very well because they're pretty undulating. They're small greens, and everything flows towards lake, which you can't see. You can't see it because you're in the mountains above the lake, but everything goes that way. And so, yeah, Isaiah Salinda's caddy had a compass around his neck and a level for putting practice in on his tool belt, and I was like, that's dedication. But it was really cool to see the pros be pros, especially at 6,000 feet. With watching Kurt Kitayama, who's like 10th in driving distance on tour, he hits the ball so high that it felt like 7-8 seconds of hang time on his drives.
That's wild.
And on hole 2, it's a 345-yard par 4, but it's over a lake, so a lot of guys are kind of bailing out left hole high. But they were hitting 3-wood, and they were hole high at 345.
I miss those days, man. Growing up in Colorado, same deal.
Ball just keeps on. It does not come down.
Goes and goes and goes. It's funny.
And Ryan Gerard won.
Yeah, I was just going to segue into that. So, and I think some of our viewers know, I bet on Ryan Gerard almost every week. Like almost every week. Did I bet on Ryan Gerard this week? Absolutely not. Did he win? I'll
take credit. I did say because Gerard was teeing off around the same time as Isaiah that day, and he was putting practice same time, and so I waved. I said, "Hey, how you doing, Ryan?" He goes, "Oh, I'm good." And I was like, "Hey, you going low today?" And he said, "Probably. I feel good." And the wind was down, it was warm, and the ball was carrying, and so yeah, I was surprised because Ryan Gerard I thought was a bigger guy. He's a little dude. He's way skinnier than I thought.
You can't ever tell with those guys either. Like you see them in person, and it's never the size you think they are based on what you see on TV, ever.
Yeah, Max Homa was very skinny. He's very tall though too. He was like his arms are pencils. I was like, what? Max is so skinny.
He's so frail.
He was zoned in though. He was like you could tell his mental game is turning around. That was what I got out of his performance. But Gerard, so consistent, and with the Stableford scoring that they had, everyone's playing super aggressive, and they give you lots of risk rewards on that course. That course is not easy. There are lots of hazards in the way. They tucked all the pins, just inviting you to try it. And Ryan Gerard didn't make very many mistakes, and he made a lot of birdies. He was locked in and made a big charge on the final round to take it home. I had Hayden Springer, who kind of faded on Sunday, but Kurt Kitayama, he shot a final round 65 to kind of get into that top 20. So yeah, good times at the Barracuda. I'll be back next year. I'll probably be at Pebble Beach in February too, but it won't be as hot. 85 degrees at 6,000 feet is hot. And I was walking. We were walking constantly because when they're working in pairs, all the pace of play stuff is BS. Because on TV, they get to cut to people when they're ready to hit. If you're walking with these PGA Tour pros and there's only groups of 2, you're having trouble keeping up with them because they walk really fast and they don't let you walk behind them until everybody in the walk behind group, like the TV crew, the caddies, and the volunteers, they get to walk through first. Then they let the ropes open and you walk behind them. So you're constantly walking at a very fast pace just to catch up with them. And so I don't think pace of play is a really big deal on the PGA Tour as much as people whine about it. That was one thing my impression was they are moving quick. Like they're spending a good minute or two from when it's their turn to hitting the shot, but in between there's no downtime.
Well, I mean, the advantage is they're not fat, old, overweight, and consuming mass amounts of alcohol the way you and I would be. So it's easy to keep going.
Although Kiradek Afi Barnrat, we love Kiradek on the show. But 18 is an uphill par 4, and he was finishing a round where he had lost 11 points. He was shooting a horrible round, but he's coming up 18. And his drive was in the left rough. He hit his second shot off a tree, went into a bunker. Then he chips up the bunker onto the green, and he made the par putt. But going from just the approach shot to the green straight up the hill, the big boy was chugging. He was dying. Elevation, it's hot. He's playing terribly, and it's straight uphill on the very last hole of the day. And he wanted to get out of there so bad, and I felt bad for Kiradek because he's a big boy. And he was
Barn Rat ripping heaters the whole time too, or is he?
He was. I don't think he would have survived. He was ripping heaters up there. He was dying up the hill. His cart battery was low.
God, I remember he'd just show up tournaments, sig hanging, just gut hanging over his belt.
He is a vibe. I'll give Kiradek is a vibe, but I felt really bad for him on Saturday because it was hot and elevation, and he was playing so bad. But yeah, that was a good memory. I texted you about that. I was like, in the moment, I'm watching him walk up 18 and go, oh, poor guy. I felt for him. All right. We're going to get into the 3M Open, Twin Cities, Minnesota.
Yeah, I suppose we could do that. Should we do that?
Caddie notes. Let's hit it. All right, Conor, TPC Twin Cities in Blaine, Minnesota. Take it away.
As you said, TPC Twin Cities, Minneapolis, Blaine area. Par 71, yardage is 7450. Fairways are bent. Greens are bent. Really, really pristine bent grass, actually, by the way. Yeah, so there isn't a ton to say about this place. TPC Twin Cities is one of the more scoreable courses on tour. Despite the fact that it's got about 80% of holes having water in play on them. The fairways are super wide. The greens are very large. It's super flat. Like I alluded to, the grass is fantastic here. The lies on the fairways are again, absolutely pristine. The greens are easy to read, easy to navigate. Some of the highest fur and gur that we see all year. This is a really, really easy course.
Yep.
But that all being said, what this course really rewards is aggressive, accurate approach play. Because a lot of these are going to have water in play, that second shot, they can be challenging if you don't have the accuracy to back up the shots you're taking. But year on year, this place has some pretty sticky stats. I mean, it comes down to who's the best on approach and who doesn't miss some putts. This time of year in the Midwest, anybody who lives in the Midwest will know, like the weather can be a bit chaotic, which can sometimes come into play. But this week, Most of the thunderstorms are early in the week. Thursday is going to be soft and receptive, but I think most of the weather should be pretty well cleared out by middle of the morning on Thursday. The rest of this tournament is absolutely perfect. It's
a little on the warm side, but still, yeah, no wind at all.
And which is the only other thing that can kind of throw you for a loop in this part of the world this time of year is we can get pretty breezy, but like this week's not looking like it at all. So this place should get absolutely scorched by these guys.
We actually love seeing good scoring, especially with a field like this where 28 of the 30 guys who are trying to make that top 70 for the playoffs, they're here. There's that mid-range group that's there only half as many guys are making the playoffs this year as last year and in years previous. So a lot of these guys are trying to get in that top 70 to see the FedEx Cup playoffs and get those big paychecks. So we got a lot of guys in that 52 to 100 that need the points really desperately to make the playoffs. And so you got to make the cut here. You got to make a lot of birdies to make the cut here. It's usually a couple under par just to make the cut, top 65 in ties. Ball striking. Distance is not an advantage, but it is a bonus. Last year's winner, Johnny Vegas, bombed it down there 340, gouged it out when he's 128th in driving accuracy. So he just hit it as far as he can and made a bunch of close approaches, and he was the hottest putter in the world that week. Sometimes it just happens that way. A lot of times it's just like what you said, the person who sticks at the closest the most often and converts those chances, opportunities gained, birdies are better, percentage, conversion, opportunities and conversion. That's really all this course is. It's not going to have too much bite back. You do want to include some bogey avoidance because of how prevalent the water penalty areas are. Other than that, it's just putting on bent over the last 24 rounds is what I threw in there. But yeah, approach, strokes gained off the tee, just for the simple fact that we want them to be in good position to attack these pins. It's going to be a birdie fest. 17 to 25 under par is usually what range we're in, especially since the 17s and the 15 under par that we had were because the winds were up a little bit. We're going 20 or better easily this week.
Oh yeah, I think we see excess. I think we're 25 to 30. Honestly, I think this place is going to get absolutely destroyed,
lit up.
I mean, this course to me always makes me think this is a course that proves why how mental the game is. As an amateur golfer on this course, I'm probably losing a dozen balls in the water. For the pros, though, I mean, yeah, there's water in play, but I mean,
they're going to be mad at shooting 68.
It's not the hitting over water to them isn't the same as me trying to hit over water. You know, it's
definitely mental.
Yeah, it's not terribly penal. It's not terribly daunting. Yeah, this place should be entertaining golf nonetheless.
Well, to add to our entertainment, we are going to bet on some golf. What do you say, Connor? Let's bet on open. Yes, we can. Let's twirl some clubs. That video was taken in Lake Tahoe, South Lake Tahoe, on the other side of the lake.
Mine was taken in South Carolina.
Nice. Myrtle Beach.
Just inland from Hilton Head.
Nice. All right, DraftKings Sportsbook. We got some new favorites this week, starting right at the top, 18 to 1 for your choice of Sam Burns or Chris Gotterup. Sam Burns, the more well-rounded player, obviously, multiple-time winner on PGA Tour. And how about Chris Gotterup, who has made himself a cool 2.7 milli over the last 2 weeks on Links Golf. Seems set up pretty well for Parkland, too. 18 to 1. Are we going with the hot hand? Or are we going with the guy who makes everything he sees with the flat stick? That's your choice. I like Gotterup, but I also like Burns. I think there's value in both of them. To get an outright favorite at 18 to 1, that's good either way in my book. So you can talk me into either one of them.
Yeah, you can't really argue with the form on Gotterup right now. I mean, he's playing incredible golf. He looks great, playing with confidence. Surprises me the last 2 weeks completely. I
Sure.
didn't expect to see what I saw out of him. So I wouldn't blame anybody for riding the hot hand with him. The only thing that with him that does worry me a bit is I don't know if it's a little bit of a flash in the pan. He doesn't play that kind of golf here in the States typically.
Yeah.
And not to say that he's had a bad season by any stretch. I mean, he's got tons of top 20s this year, but it's also riddled with missed cuts everywhere. And now we're getting him back on bent grass, which is by far and away his worst putting surface. I don't care how pristine these greens are.
And he's not a very good putter to begin with. He just seemed to catch fire the last 2 weeks.
And that is so accurate. I mean, if you look at the prior 6 weeks to that, I mean, he was losing an average of 1.7 strokes on the flat with the flat stick. So I think I'm going to roll with Sam Burns. And with Burns, the approach game is a little bit scary from time to time. But the thing with Burns is he can get hot when he needs to. He's an amazing putter, and we already talked about it. I mean, this does turn into a bit of a, knock your approach on, make the putt. What I like about Sam Burns too is he doesn't have to be within 10 feet. Burns will make putts from anywhere on the green.
Good because he usually is not.
He usually is not. But the ironic thing with that is he's number one in this field in 3-putt avoidance, and so it's just
number one in putting. Period.
So I think 18 is an awesome number on Sam Burns. It would not surprise me in the least if he won this week.
Wouldn't surprise me either. His worst stat is on approach at 63rd in this field. Still middle of the pack at his worst stat. It seems good. I like Jake Knapp, 30 to 35 to 1 on most books. He's playing really well this year when it comes to these Parkland golf courses. Obviously has the distance advantage. He's been a little squirrely accuracy wise off the tee, but his approach game has made big strides and his putting has made a gigantic stride this year. I think Jake Knapp at 35 to 1 has all the upside I'm looking for to win big here and hit that 25 or to 30 under par as we're predicting here. It is nap time for the big siesta. So I will be investing pretty well into Jake Knapp because I think he's got the juice to take this thing down at the 3M.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Jake Knapp's a solid play here. If there's any knock on him, I tend to like him a little bit more in situations
without water.
Without water. He struggles off the tee. And when you struggle off the tee, like I said, this is really going to reward people that are in position, set up really nice for their second shot. Not to say that he couldn't be all right. We've seen him do it, but that's the only pause that I have with Jake Knapp, which is kind of why I'm a little off him. I'm a little more on Siwoo Kim, number 12 in overall approach this season, second in bogey avoidance, fourth in good drives gained. The accuracy is really on point. Now, Siwoo is, I'm taking a flyer on Siwoo a bit because he is god awful at putting, as we all know.
120th. That's not great.
No, it's definitely not great. But the Siwoo Kim is absolutely just peaks and valleys with that putter. I mean, we're not very far removed from that nice 3-round stretch where he was averaging almost 3 strokes gained per start. So he can get a hot stick, and if he does, the approach game is so stout that Siwoo can absolutely take this place down too. So,
for sure, yeah, when he's hot, he's ridiculously hot. Who else do we have here? Mid-range for me, that's pretty much it. I do have Michael Thorbjornsen here at 40 to 1. I want to see him go down a little bit to 45 or 50. That would be more of a sweet spot for him. Again, putting atrocious, but he's number 3 in opportunities gained, number 2 in birdies or better, and 4th in driving distance, 8th on approach. Thorbjornsen's got the firepower to do it, but he's got to make putts. 59th in opportunities gained means he's not quite to that form that we need him to be to win a tournament of this caliber. It's going to come down to the flat stick. He's got to make putts. He's got to make birdie putts in bunches. We know he can do it, evidenced by his 2nd in birdies or better. But it's mostly been due to his ball striking, putting himself in lots of good opportunities. he just hasn't converted as many as he could have. He's on the precipice of doing it. I don't know that I want to do it at 40-1, but if he does slip, I'm going to be jumping on it.
Yeah, he's just one of those players, and we're going to talk about it, I think, his entire career, where the week that he decides to put it all together is going to, I mean, he's going to lap the field.
Yep.
If you look at what he did in his last start at the John Deere, he gained almost 6 strokes on approach. Well, prior to that, he hadn't even sniffed that kind of approach metric. And then the week before John Deere at Rocket Mortgage, it was like the polar opposite. Couldn't hit broadside of a barn on approach, but gained almost 6 strokes putting. And it's just kind of, this is a week that you need him to do both. And so far, we haven't seen him be able to do both at the same time. But when it does happen, there's tons of opportunities to make the low numbers. So,
yep. All right. And you also have a little bit of Akshay Bhatia exposure at 40. That's a good pick. The guy makes a lot of birdies, and he loves to hit the approach shots. That we're going to see lots of approach shots that are going to require some shaping into. These are big greens, so proximity matters. You don't want to be 40 feet away for your birdie putts. It's not going to work here to make a bunch of pars. Akshay Bhatia has proximity prowess, 150 and in especially. I'm with you. These fairways are wide enough to not worry about Akshay's off the tee game so much, where he's been very erratic. But his approach game is solid, and his putting, like Jake Knapp, has vastly improved this season.
Yeah, and another thing, too, that we identified last year and why we liked Akshay last year, too, and this is just kind of one of those weird small stats just to throw in on top of the fact that Akshay is amazing on approach versus the rest of this field and number 5 in opportunities gained. But on top of that, he's number 1 in this field in regard to avoiding bad right misses.
And all the water's on the right.
So that's something that the reason that I bring it up is just because you made the point about his off the tee game. Even if he's not doing well off the tee,
he's missing left.
He's missing left. So he's going to stay out of trouble just by way of his natural miss is out of trouble. So we liked him a lot last year. It didn't really come to fruition for us, but I think he's got a really nice shot here. This course set up well for him last time around. So hopefully he puts it together. It's a good number on him.
Yeah, I'm a little worried because bent is also his worst surface of putting. But overall, the only downside to him besides putting and maybe off the tee game, strokes gained off the tee in general, is he's not a long hitter. He's 113th in driving distance. He's more of a shot shaper, kind of a stylist player. That doesn't necessarily fit well with Parkland golf, like TPC Twin Cities. It's bomb and gouge, pretty much as quintessential bomb and gouge as you're going to get, unless you're way right. He's not going to miss way right. So Akshay at 40, pretty decent. We are in complete lockstep again on Luke Clanton. And I'm so confident Luke Clanton, he's number 1 in my model by such a distance that I'm going to do the full ladder on Luke Clanton because he's good and he makes more birdies than anybody.
I'm with you. Definitely full ladder on Clanton as well. And you said something way earlier in the show that I think almost defines Luke Clanton is this place is going to reward guys that are willing to take risks on approach.
And he's the most aggressive player in the world. And it plays out in the stats that I ran. You know how I filter it. It's so filtered. It's like a Brita. And his worst stat is 49th in this field, and it's bogey avoidance. Guess why? Because the dude goes for every pin every time, and sometimes that turns into a big number. But we like that on this golf course. We like the guys that are going after these pins, not worried about the water hazards, not worried about being short-sighted. The rough isn't up here. It's just aim and fire. And if this guy's locked in like he has been making birdies this whole season, he's also 24th in this field putting on bent. That's amazing. 5th in opportunities, 13th off the tee, 4th on approach, 12th in driving distance. The guy's got the whole package. He just needs to avoid the big numbers. One of those 4 days has to be better than the other 3 days. He has to go super low one of those days, and the rest of the field's gonna be like, whoa. Luke Clanton is here.
Well, in Clanton too, we were on him last year, and the funny thing was we watched him play too aggressive. I mean, he played too aggressive. He got himself in a bad spot, and then we also watched him go on, I think, two solid birdie runs in the second round on Friday, where you're just like, yeah, see, this is the guy that we lined up to bet. This is the dude. So if he just starts and stays hot like that, that's what he's capable of here. I think the course sets are really nice for him. So going back to the well, like we do almost every week on Luke Lamb.
Yeah. I like Patrick Fishburne and Kevin Roy, just good form, good odds for this field. I won't go into too much depth because those two guys are not going to get much money out of me. The Clanton Ladder and the Jake Knapp multi-placement bets are going to take up most of my money. But I want to hear about Emiliano Grillo and Lee Hodges. Hodges is a horse for the course. So is Andrew Putnam. But Grillo, underrated horse for the course at the 3M Open.
Yeah, and the kind of deciding factor for him this year is that his putter actually is pretty good.
Not bad.
If you had told me Emiliano Grillo was going to be in the top 20 over the last 36 rounds for strokes game putting and number 5 in 3 putt avoidance, I'd have told you you're nuts. Absolutely nuts. Told you you're nuts.
Crackers.
But very stout approach game. We've kind of been touting him a little bit for probably about the last month or so. Accurate off the tee, accurate on approach, in the top 20 for opportunities gained. Third in this field for bogey avoidance, so he doesn't give strokes back. I mean, he rates out number 1 for me this week, which is kind of terrifying, but it's I think it's honestly just the form that he's in with the putter. It's very un-Emiliano.
It really is. Unlike him.
Last time he teed it up at John Deere, 5.4 strokes gained putting. I hate to put any voodoo on this, but maybe he's finally figured out how to putt. He's always had the approach game. So,
I don't have him very high in my model. He's 116th, but I'll take your word for it. I have my own long shots. Before we get to the long shots, I do want to tell you about the IBT Weekender deal, the promo code Weekender on in-betweenmedia.com, where you can order your draft night out tickets at the Fantasy Football Expo in Canton, Ohio. 2 events for one price. Use promo code #Weekender to get a promo price for both draft night out and the IBT Golf Classic. Conor Coughlin will be on assignment. It's gonna be fun. Get out there to Canton the second weekend of August. So get your tickets now. Use promo code Weekender.
I think next year you and I should have a team, and we should bring 2 listeners with us. That's what I think.
That's a fantastic idea, because you and I, with anybody else, like we could get Dee, bring your clubs from SoCal to Canton, and we'll take it down with anybody. Me and Dee and a fourth, we're taking that thing easily.
We'll bring Tim Burke with us. I play with Tim Burke all the time. He's a little older. Good? He's a little older gentleman. Gentleman. I'll tell you what, the guy pipes at about 250 right down the middle.
That's all we need. That's all we need.
Annoying golf.
If you're down the middle, it means Connor and I can unleash the beast and go for these greens in 1 or 2 in a par 5.
Plus, the guy can drink some beers, which
that's my favorite.
Critical.
Yeah. All right, long shots. I have a couple good ones that you probably agree with. You just don't have them on your sheet. Hayden Springer, going back to the well there, just playing great golf, another top 10 at the Barracuda. I also have Chan Kim, who's going at 170 to 1. He had a really good third round at the Barracuda. Or no, he was at the Open, wasn't he? I can't remember. He played really well last week. It was the Barracuda, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, so 170 to 1 on Chan Kim, and then I'll throw a $5 to win 1,000 bet on the guy I just talked to on Saturday in depth, Isaiah Salinda, 200 to 1. He's got the chops. This is the kind of golf course that rewards his distance off the tee. His approach game is streaky. He showed really good approach at the Barracuda, which I really love, because when he's hitting his irons well, he can go really low.
Yeah, the Salinda one is probably my favorite out of your bunch.
I thought that would be the case.
So Chan Kim, I actually love Chan Kim, and there's a lot of spots I'd like to bet Chan Kim. He's just one of those guys that's kind of a magician when he gets himself in trouble and around the greens and stuff. And I don't know that talent's going to be put to use here. But 170, I mean, Chan Kim does make a lot of birdies.
He does. That's why he popped in my model. His birdie or better rate is pretty high.
And then Springer, I'll always sprinkle on Springer when he's triple digit. We've seen the guy pop before too many times.
Yep.
My guys, I'm going back to Jackson Suber here. Great approach game. I think it's going to reward some of the risk taking. Had a couple of nice finishes. 18th at the Canadian Open, 6th at the Rocket Mortgage. Has been pretty stout with his putter. Really hasn't lost strokes in his last 4 starts. And the only reason that he struggled at the John Deere was he actually had a fall off, literally fell off completely on approach that week. Basically was flat on approach, flat off the tee. Doesn't tend to gain a lot off the tee, doesn't tend to lose a lot off the tee, but that approach game, usually it's going to teeter somewhere around that 2.5 strokes gained average. So Jackson Suber, I think, is a great guy to start betting often, especially.
I said hi to him as well at the Barracuda. He was on the driving range, and I said hi to him.
Really good approach player.
They're always surprised that those guys that are like rookies on tour or they're DP World Tour players that are at the Barracuda. They're always surprised when I know who the heck they are.
And you're like, I have a golf show. And they're like, yeah, you and everybody else.
Right. Yeah. It's like, no, we're actually quite good.
I got to give you props. I thought MK was gonna maybe bite and come on. I thought maybe you shot your shot.
I shot my shot. He has replied to me in the past, usually just to compliment how great my swing is. But he didn't reply to my invite to the show tonight. So we'll get him. We'll get him.
We're getting somebody. Yeah, I know you always giggle when I bring up this guy, but Sami Valimaki at 150 to 1.
He's a wide body. We love Sami Valimaki. I just don't think he's any good.
So here's what I like about Sami Valimaki is typically it's the off the tee game that really, really worries me. It's the ball flight that really, really worries me. Don't have to worry about either this week at all. He has a very good approach game and a very good putter. He's number 10 in this field over the last 36 rounds for strokes gained putting. We've seen him get crazy hot with his approach, and he's actually 14th in the field over the last 36 for birdie or better. So he can definitely get very, very hot, make birdies in bunches.
That's a really fancy long shot for first round leader, by the way.
Well, and that's the thing with him, right? Is like he can pop, and you just hope that he kind of keeps up whatever he starts with. If he starts hot, watch out. But yeah, he's a lot better, I think, than like maybe the finishes would imply. So
yeah,
yep. And that my last one, I don't want to call it a FOMO bet, but it's a little bit of a FOMO bet. I got Carl Billups at 250 to 1.
Yeah, he's been burning us lately. He's been burning us. His approach game's been so bad.
Here's the thing, though. I think he's gonna be a volatile player. I mean, I don't think we're ever gonna have week on week success with him. And if you're gonna give me 250 to 1 on Carl Billups, who has won this year, who is absolutely capable of shredding this field if he shows up with the game put together, I'm gonna sprinkle on it every single time.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm feeling a little jaded because Carl Billups is my guy, and he's been awful the last few weeks. So let's hope he turns it around.
Awful till he's not.
Yep, he won us a lot of money already, so respect.
And as I recall, it was way shorter odds than we're getting on him here, and this is
that was 70 to 1 at Puerto Rico,
and this is not that great of a field. So
this is just a desperate field, and I don't think he's going to make the playoffs either way. So you might just go out there and guns a-blazing. Are you ready for the hat?
I'm ready for the hat. Are you ready for the hat?
Yep, we got 3 minutes to cover it. Let's do it. Come on, low number, no whammies.
Get any of the ASMR when I'm doing this? All right, number 18.
18. Let's go to the top. 18. Oh, we have We have a NorCal guy. And actually, not a bad pick. One of the favorites.
I got Doug Gim.
Doug Gim. Let's go to the very top of my model, number 2. I am not going to bet him because Doug Gim is crazy volatile and 121st in putting, but he's an amazing ball striker, especially on these parkland golf courses where he can go low. So Doug Gim, first round leader, is a great pick. My number 18 is, shout out NorCal, Maverick McNealy, who is playing some pretty solid golf. He topped 25 last 2 weeks at the Open and the Scottish. He's a great putter, as we know, and he's making birdies in bunches this year, which he was not known for up until this year, is as a guy who goes really low. He's number 7 in birdie or better percentage in this field. So that should do it. Maverick McNealy is my hat pick, and yours is Doug Gim, which is number 2 in my model. That's great.
Neither one of those is a bad hat pick. We loved Mav for this place last year, and he's 13th in my model. I might do a little more digging on Mav.
Yeah, he's 23rd in tee to green, 14th in strokes gained par 4. That's important. But yeah, number 7 in birdies or better. That really juices it up.
Hey, Bo, do you know what tournament we have next week?
The Wyndham at Sedgefield. The Sedgefield and Wyndham Championship.
Wyndham.
And this Wyndham will not damage the locker room at Oakmont.
What a tool.
I love most Oregon Duck athletes, but come on, Clark, man. You terrible.
Also, PSA, the new Happy Gilmore comes out at the end of this week.
Yep, 25th.
So everybody,
I'll be ready. I'll be ready.
We'll review it next week.
Definitely. All right. From Conor Coughlin, I am Bo McBrayer. Join us next week for the regular season finale at the Wyndham Championship at Sedgefield Country Club. Until then, we'll see you later.